This is Andrew with the Chosen Prime with a quick video preview of a production sample or test shot of FT-15 Willis, otherwise known as Fans Toys' take on Masterpiece Hound. As you can see here, he's been designed to homage the cartoon version of Hound with kind of the standard, the way his belt, his feet, and his shoulders look. Like most other Fans Toys pieces, he's very solid. He's got a lot of weight and girth to him, as far as he's very stable, very stiff joints, a lot of posability. You can see here he's got deep ankle tilts, a lot of movement with the shoulders. He can get a 90-degree bend on his hands. He does have the standard kind of peg-in hands. The shoulder cannon can tilt back just a little bit. His head is on a swivel as well as can look up and down. He does come with several different accessories. He comes with an alternate white head. I think this is the original design for the face that they had. And all you would do is it's on with a mushroom peg. You would just slide off the old head, and you can put on the new head like that. And I'll show off some more detailed comparisons and close-ups in a minute. In addition to the head, again, he does come with the G1 accurate, toy accurate gun here, as well as the cartoon gun, the shoulder missile. He comes with this little Gatling gun that goes for vehicle mode. He does come with, for vehicle mode, a gas tank as well as a spare tire, or covered tire, that just hang on with little clips, and I'll show those off in vehicle mode. He comes with a little stand here. This is used to attach this back missile in vehicle mode and let you plug into his back. And the final little accessory that he comes with is this little clear faceplate, which homages that one time in the first couple episodes of the G1 cartoon where he had the face shield when he went underwater. And it just pegs into place here like that. So we'll go on to some robot details. Here you can see that the green that he's made of is this nice kind of lighter but almost dark green. It's kind of a nice mix between what the cartoon color was as well as the toy. It is got this nice metallic paint. On the outside it does have a little bit of metallic fleck that's a little bit hard to see on the camera, but it is really striking to see in person. You can see that he does have a lot of details here, the silver, the clear headlights, nice G1 accurate belt, silver legs, again his feet. And it's an overall, I think the fit and finish they have even on the sample is very striking. To show up the differences between the face, here you can see this is the silver redesigned face. Looks a little bit nicer, a bit more accurate to what the cartoon was. If we change it out for the white one, here you can see that here's the white cartoon accurate face. And you still get the same kind of posability as far as tilting up and tilting down. And this is the kind of the more standard original head that they designed. Some people have noted that the white face looks similar to the white face that came on KFC's Transistor or their Masterpiece Blaster, and it is somewhat similar, but it is different enough, especially with the little lines underneath the eyes. If you do like the cartoon face, it is available here with Willis. So this being a production sample from Fans Toys, I unfortunately do not have the instructions for Willis, and so I might struggle a little bit trying to transform him here from robot mode into his Jeep mode. But to start, first we go ahead and unpeg this missile rack, and all it does is this simple little peg here, this great peg here that pegs into this hole here, and so that's how it secures in robot mode. Again, the hands are standard kind of pegged slot, and then he does have standard just one set of fingers. So to begin, first let's go ahead and these panels here on the chest, they slide down. You can see this channel here that they slide down on both sides. And it is a very stiff toy, it's built very solidly. So next, this part here on his abdomen is pegged in. You want to go ahead and unpeg it here, which will go ahead and loosen the entire torso. There's a peg here that, on that hinge there that pegs into his belly that you can go ahead and open up. And so here you can see, this is where the tires kind of hide in robot mode. But the way that kind of works is that these arms here rotate in, but the tires kind of get in the way and however they are. So the hands actually can collapse a little bit into the arms, and so you actually rotate it specific ways to the thumbs this way, and then you can press them in and they'll hide just enough for transformation. With the hands collapsed, now we can come around to the head. And so this assembly where the head and this front grille kind of work is kind of interesting, but you want to kind of pop up the head so that that'll let you free up this part of the torso here. And you kind of want to leave the head kind of ajar here. We'll go ahead and do an arm and fold an arm in, so we'll go ahead and slide this part back. It's part of the Jeep mode. And then what we want to be able to do is take this panel and rotate it back into itself. But you can see that the tire kind of gets in the way, so you want to kind of move the tire out halfway to then let you have clearance to kind of rotate this back in on itself. And you do need to make sure that the kind of this back panel here is a certain way, because otherwise it'll kind of hit the top here, and it won't rotate around fully. Again, I'm sure the full instructions will kind of clear this up, but essentially you just need to be able to get this fully rotated around so it's inside. Move the tire out, and there we've got the arm kind of folded back in. Next you want to come in, there's this panel here that rotates down, and now this arm is ready to be folded in. Come around to the other side, go ahead and pull the tire out partially. Now make sure that you have room to then rotate this part of the arm around, and you want to make sure that the arm's kind of pointing out that way. And now we can go ahead and move the arm in the correct way. Fold the wheel out fully, slide this down. Again, that inner panel here rotates back. And then we can move on to the next step. With his arms all ready to go here, you want to go ahead and rotate his head back, so go ahead and rotate it back. And then make sure that the cat slide down the grill here just enough so you have this panel here up just enough so you have clearance to still do this, but it'll make it so it's easier to make it flat here on the top of the engine when we're all said and done. So next we go to the arms and make sure that they're rotated this way with the pegs underneath the arms, and you want to go ahead and curl them 90 degrees and then push them up into the engine block, and then those two peg holes here will match up with these pegs here on the grill. Go ahead and peg those together. Go ahead and flatten out the hood here. And there you can see how it's all flat. Go ahead and rotate up the panel here. Make sure these are backwards, ready to go. At this time you can go ahead and flip up the mirrors, and then here the front of the truck is done, or front of the Jeep is done. We can come down to the legs. So the legs here, what you want to do is go ahead and move these seats back and take the side panel here, this panel here, and it'll go ahead and fold out and make the side of the Jeep. And then at that point that will freeze up, you able to go ahead and flip out the engine that was inside of his leg, or the tire that was inside of his leg, and goes ahead and pegs in. Go ahead and do that on both sides. Again, flip this seat down, come around here. This panel will go ahead and unpeg and go flat. Make sure the seat here, seat bottom, is rotated around this way. Do it on both sides. Again, the tire hires nicely in the leg in robot mode, and it just swivels out, and there's a peg and a peg hole for it to plug into itself. The legs collapse on each other, so you just go ahead and push in both legs on both sides. Take what was the foot here, and you kind of want to straighten it out and move this panel here to square it off. And then this peg here will peg into his leg. You just kind of make sure everything is nice and flat. Do that on both sides again. Kind of flatten out this foot and these panels. So again, this turns into the back of the vehicle. There's that green peg here that pegs into the back of his leg. Now we can take the two legs and peg them together. Be nice and secure. Make sure the seats are upright. And so now we're almost done. So these panels here that were on the upper torso, you want to go ahead and slide them back up to finish up the bumper. And there's a little peg hole on both sides to make them finish, so then they'll finish off the front bumpers. Here you can see there's this channel here in this torso that's on a slide hinge, and so you want to go ahead and push it up into the vehicle. And it's a bit tight on this copy. Let's do it. It's set like that. Next you want to go ahead and partially untransform these panels here and lift them up. Make sure the steering wheel's up, and then kind of collapse the vehicle on itself, and it'll peg in like this. And then here you can see there's a little channel here on both of these kind of wings that peg in down here, and you just want to slide them down. Kind of lock them into place on both sides. So again, you just kind of come and they'll slide down and hold them in place. If you want to, these little black pieces here can slide back into the wheel wells. It's kind of your preference on how you want them to set up. And it's just a matter of kind of just finishing off and kind of flattening them up. Here are these parts of the feet. But essentially there is Willis in his Jeep mode. To install the rear wheel and fuel tank, the pieces simply just have this little kind of clip that fits onto this ridge here on the back of his vehicle mode. You can install them at any point, but the way it's kind of designed is for the wheel, the extra spare tire to fit on this side, and then taking the fuel tank and putting it on this side. So they have the correct spacing. That's how those work. And then take the primary Gatling gun that he has, and again it's got a circular peg for the circular hole here. And you just peg it in. And there's his fully decorated Jeep mode ready to go. Vehicle mode details for Willis. Here you can again see that this plastic is kind of this nice lighter green. It is metallic, does have a bit of flake in it. Definitely looks metallic. So it looks like an actual Jeep. Details are called out with bits of silver paint, yellow paint for the star, and overall just nice details. Silver rims, steering wheel, painted on wipers. He does have the back spare tire, extra gas tank. As far as the weapons for vehicle mode, he does have this one that can, it just pegs into a peg here. It does have a piston to tilt up and down. Alternatively, if you want to, his handgun does have a little peg that I can also peg in and be used to pivot back and forth if you choose in either one. Or finally, you can actually take his shoulder mounted missile here, and there's this little peg here, and he does come with this little part that'll peg together, and you can use it as well if you want to use it as his vehicle mode weapon. Again, you have 3 different weapons you can put in there and install them however you choose. Comparing Willis to other Masterpiece Hounds that are out right now, this is Make Toys Gundog. This is the toy version, the one that homages the G1 toy, so it's the darker colors and the chrome pieces versus the G1 color. But here you can see that Willis and Gundog are roughly the same size in robot mode. While Willis definitely looks more cartoon accurate with the way that the wheels hide and the legs and this belt here, they both are roughly the same size and good versions of Hound for your Masterpiece collections. And it kind of depends on your aesthetic which kind of version of Hound you want. But to go into more detail, Willis here does have this nice middle ground on his green that is this kind of nice, it's cartoon accurate with this light green, but it is metallic and has a bit of fleck to it. And so it's everywhere, this is all the paint of the green. So they really added a lot of paint to Willis here. And just overall, they both have a lot of great details. And again, I would say that the Willis here is a little bit more cartoon accurate with the way that the feet look and the arms look. Primary difference between the two, Gundog can hold all of his accessories in both modes, where you can hide the spare tire here on the back, and the fuel can fit on his foot. And if you had the extra gun, you could put it into his leg or his arm here. Whereas Willis can't do that, but Willis does come with this nice G1 accurate from the toy, this gun. And so if you want, really have him have his cartoon gun, that's where Willis kind of excels. But they're both excellent versions here of Masterpiece Hound. As far as posability between the two, they both are roughly the same. They both have quite deep ankle tilts and stiff joints. They're both quite heavy. They both have quite a bit of metal in them. And Gundog's almost a little bit heavier than what Willis is. Stiff joints. They can twist their waists. Gundog does have the ab crunch that he has from Transformation that gives a little bit of more motion, but then Willis, his head can look up a bit easier than what Gundog can. But overall, they're both really comparable as far as posability and being part of your Masterpiece Autobots. Comparing Willis and Gundog in their vehicle modes, this is the toy one. The toy one does have that darker green color metallic, but they both have a nice metallic color. Willis here does have the silver painted items versus chromed, but overall they roughly have the same details in both modes. Both have gas tanks, both have spare tires. Gundog does have the chromed out starred version. They both have weapons that can fit in the back beds. Again, this is Willis's handgun that can pivot and turn. Side-by-side comparison scale-wise, you can see they're roughly the same kind of scale and size. I would say that this one looks a little bit more accurate to the cartoon version of the Jeep. But overall, they both look really good as Masterpiece Hounds. It's kind of like whatever aesthetic you kind of want. If you want something that's a bit more cartoon or something that's a bit more G1 toy, they both look like really great hounds in both modes. Robot mode comparisons here for Willis. As you can see, Fans Toys version of Hound here matches the standard kind of car height of most Dakar Masterpieces. Here you can see he's roughly the same height as Wheeljack. Still a bit taller than Bumblebee, but then smaller than Prime and Ironhide. And so I think he fits quite well with what you kind of expect he would look like with his other cartoon compatriots. And so I think Fans Toys has done a pretty good job here of fitting Willis here into your Masterpiece Autobot collection. Vehicle mode comparisons here for Willis among some other Masterpiece Autobots. He is a bit large as far as the Jeep's concerned with the other Masterpiece cars. But I think, you know, considering the primary focus was matching him in robot mode, I think Willis does a pretty good job of fitting into your collection. And considering he's roughly the same size as Gundog, I think pretty much every single Masterpiece Hound is going to come out is going to be this larger scale to make it so that the robot is this nice Autobot scale. Final thoughts on Willis from Fans Toys. Here you can see the Fans Toys take on Masterpiece Hound is quite striking in both his robot and Jeep modes. This green is really nice. It kind of is that nice middle ground between what the toy and the cartoon look like, and the metallic flake just kind of sells it. All the paint details, the overall build are all standard Fans Toys quality. He's just a really solid release. Willis is currently up for order at the Chosen Prime, and so if you want to add this Hound to your Masterpiece collection, he's available soon. So take care.